Hello everybody and welcome to episode 1 of Tips and Tricks. This is going to be for Battlefield 3 doing gun runs on ground targets and jets. So let's get right into it with some important things on the HUD you need to take note of in doing gun runs. Top left is your airspeed, top right is your altitude, as you can see in those boxes there. So right now 307 and 550. Those will be important for reasons I'll point out later, but yeah, using your HUD is going to be important for lining up a good gun run. And so kind of what's the purpose of emphasizing gun runs, right? Early on, when you're flying jets in Battlefield, you won't have anything unlocked for it. One of the first unlocks you get is air-to-air missiles. They call them heat seekers. But you don't get an air-to-ground missile for a while. But to unlock anything in an aircraft, a jet, you have to get a combat score with it. So you have to kill some stuff with your jets. So doing gun runs is how you'll do that to start out with, and it is a fundamental part of flying a jet that you will need to know to be able to get unlocks for it. So, so starting out, doing gun runs is relatively simple, but the important things you need to keep in mind are starting altitude at your run and ending altitude at the end. So
where is the Amtrak?
just kind of the rule of thumb I sort of use doing gun runs is I like to get my altitude up to around 500, maybe a little over if you can check the HUD up there, before I bank around on a gun run. And that gives you a decent amount of altitude to get an angle on an enemy target, and so you can get some good damage on them before you have to pull up. And that's the key, because it takes a lot of shots from your gun to do damage to a vehicle, even a Jeep. But especially if you want to destroy a tank in a single run, you're going to need a good long time on target, probably a full burst from your gun on the target. So the way I do it is you kind of fly over your intended target, directly over the top, right? And then as you circle around, either by going up over the top or maybe doing like a split S and coming underneath, you get some altitude up and go up to around 500 before you turn around, and then you turn straight back along the line you were running so that you're lined up with your target. And that'll get you in a good position. But then the fine tuning to get the gun run right is you got to get that crosshair in the middle of your HUD right on the target. It's very helpful when you have teammates calling out targets, and you can call them out yourself, even from your aircraft, but you need to get your crosshairs right on that target, level out your wings, and pull it off. Here I actually get a gun run on a chopper, so it's not always ground targets, but yeah, that's really the key, is getting a good turn, having decent altitude, and getting your gun sights on your target. Now the important thing to getting your gun sights on is going to be using your left stick, and these are for console controls. It'll be different on PC, where you'll have maybe a joystick, or if you're using keyboard and mouse like back in the old day, good luck. But left stick controls your plane's yaw, which is important for fine-tuning your attack. And if you don't know what that is, it's essentially the left and right movement of your nose without having to bank the aircraft. So the right stick rolls your aircraft left and right and pulls up and down, but the left stick yaw is what you'll use to push your nose of your plane left or right to line your crosshairs up with the target. And that is key in a gun run, is to get a straight line over your target at a decent altitude, come straight back over towards your target, and put your gun sights right by them, and then use the yaw to push your gun sights right where they need to be. So there you'll see me yawing in to hit the guns. And if you get a good long gun run, you can destroy a tank like that in a single run. So yeah, that's the basics of doing gun runs in aircraft in Battlefield 3. Look forward to more episodes, and see you guys later.